right, so you know the drill. Let's tell folks about you and your background and all the cool background stuff.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. My name is Mahesh Narayanan. I'm the managing partner at Neuvation Ventures and also the CEO of MatchPlay Group, which is a syndicate of funds that invests across healthcare, fintech, clean tech, and B2B SaaS. So we're part of a much larger group of funds, but I specifically manage Neuvation Ventures, which is a fund focused on neurotech.
How did you get into this role? What's your history that got you here?
Sure. So I actually started here in undergrad at Boston University in neuroscience. Ended up in grad school at Penn in neurology, and then worked in big pharma for a couple of years. I was at GSK and then Pfizer for a little bit before coming out and starting my own diagnostic company, which we successfully exited back in 2016. And then we did another cell and gene therapy company, which exited earlier.
Oh, wow. Very
and
nice.
so since then, I've been focusing on more on the investment side and getting more involved in the VC space.
So diagnostics and cell and gene therapy, so you've been across and seen different types of companies.
Absolutely.
Gives you a good perspective to be an investor now.
I hope so.
What are the types of companies you're looking for?
Sure. So we primarily do medical devices, diagnostics, digital health within the neurotech space. So we don't do therapeutics, unfortunately.
Got it.
Just because our check sizes usually don't do much of a dent for those companies. But we do have, as part of our syndicate within MatchPlay Group, we do have a dedicated therapeutic fund. And so any therapeutic companies focused in any space within healthcare, we're happy to take a look at that in that fund. But in our specific fund, we only do neurotech.
And what rounds and check sizes do you like to see?
So I specifically do pre-seed up to Series A. Check size ranges from 50,000 to 500,000. Typical check is 150 for our first check.
And do you guys like to lead? Are you open to it? Would you prefer to follow on?
We prefer to lead pre-seed and seed rounds. Series A, usually our bigger funds usually come in, and we like to syndicate those deals.
And what excites you about a company? When you see a company, what makes you say, this is one of the ones we should spend some more time on?
I mean, the science.
The science.
I've always been the science guy. So the science and the data usually drives a lot of our decisions. I mean, certainly, many investors have already spoken about the team. The team is important, especially in the early stage. We often have a good idea and hardly some data to back it up. But the team at that point becomes important. But as we continue moving forward in our investment journey, that science becomes more and more important. So a lot of our investment decisions, especially as we go into our follow-on investments and our bigger funds get involved, it mostly relates to scientific milestones. So we'd like to see teams execute, but that often comes down to data.
So being the science and data guy, what are you seeing out there in science that is most exciting to you? What's changing in the fields that you're like ready to see where it goes?
Yeah, I mean, this decade, for me at least, is definitely the brain decade. I think there's a lot of great ideas that are being developed in the space. We've had pretty much a graveyard for about 40 years in the neurodegenerative side. And even in the neurodevelopmental space, like autism, ADHD, dyslexia, you're seeing a lot of great technologies that are either mitigating long-term effects for these individuals, or at least earlier diagnostics, so that we can potentially mitigate those issues long-term. But we certainly are seeing a lot of progress in the medical device space, just imaging for brain, whether it's injuries, whether it's looking at disease progression. And certainly diagnostics. That's a big area for imaging right now. So we're seeing a lot of those. And even in the surgical tool space, we're seeing a lot of advances in just making better decisions within the clinical setting so that you have better outcomes for the patients long term.
Yeah, and I've talked to a lot of folks here today with backgrounds in neuro or neurotech or something in that space, and I think it's interesting also that our New Orleans Bio Innovation Center, which follows on Bio on the Bayou that we do in collaboration with the Bullpen, is focusing entirely on brain health and neuro this year. So if y'all are coming down for Bio on the Bayou, make sure you stay for the 30th for the Bio Challenge as well, and check out some of those great companies in this space.
I hope to be there.
Awesome. I mean, it's a great time to come down. What is the fun fact about you people should know when they approach you that's outside of work that's super cool and interesting?
I love to travel. I've been to 6 out of 7 continents and about 80 80 countries so far. So love to travel. So anyone's been to anywhere exotic or any interesting places, happy to chat about that.
So what's your favorite place?
So far, New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah,
Nice.
can't
I've
beat
heard
that
that
yet.
from so many people. All right, what questions do you guys have? I know there are some. I can walk out and just put a mic in someone's face. Pete, I see you back there. Don't make me call on you.
Couldn't have answered all of them.
Did you get them all? All right. The one thing though is, how should people approach you? How do you like them to come and approach? Is it LinkedIn? Is it email? Website?
So our website has an application form. So the way MatchPlay works is that you don't just approach just one of our funds. You apply to all of our funds.
Oh,
and the
cool.
reason we do that is that we have a investment committee team that looks at all the applications come through, and then they talk to all the GPs within MatchPlay to figure out which fund or funds could participate. So that way you're not just looking at one fund and talking to one fund. You get to talk to all of us at the same time. And when we do diligence, we do the diligence
you put it
together.
in the right spot, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And that way we also, when it comes to MatchPlay, that concept behind MatchPlay is that we have funding from idea to IPO. So we have check sizes that I write, which are as low as $50,000, but we also have funds that write much larger check sizes up to $50 million. So our goal is to see where can we come in now, but when we're looking at investments, we don't look at just investments for now, we look at investments for the life of the company. So when we do diligence, we look at every fund that's in our group and figure out where they could participate now. We calculate how much you need now, how much you're going to need eventually, and where we can potentially lead, where we can potentially follow, and we give a full timeline of what it's going to look like from our end.
That's fantastic.
So that way it's easier for the company, and also spending 18 to 24 months raising capital. We'll try to lead as much as the round as we can. We also have a bunch of over 100 investors that like to follow our investments, and so we can syndicate deals pretty quickly. The one rule that we have is, as MatchPlay, we don't do more than 30% of a round within our funds, but we usually bring in another 20 to 30% from our partner funds as part of that round. So it's not just usually one check from us, it's multiple checks following that. And the only other rule that we have is that the founder has to bring in at least 25% from outside of our network. So that way there's a balance in risk for us. We have new investors coming in, but we're also not putting too many eggs in one basket with our group of investors.
Have you ever seen your funds co-invest where a couple of them invest in the same company, or is it usually?
We do it all the time.
Nice.
So we had one deal where all eight of the funds participated. It was just a really good deal that we all liked, and we all put in some money in. The later funds came in just to get the foot in the door, just to follow the company as they progress. And we just got a great deal as early stage investors, so we jumped in. So
we're all going to hit you up later and find out what that company is so we can buy the stock.
Absolutely. Give us a good deal, we'll all participate.
Anything else you feel like people should know?
As I mentioned on the website, it's matchplaygroup.com is where our application is. If you want to go straight to app.matchplaygroup.com, that's where the application starts. So even if you come to me, that's where you're going to go eventually anyway. So,
save the step, right?
Yeah. Right. So, so I'm happy to talk through the process and all of that. But that application is very straightforward. And again, usually you get a response of a yes or no in terms of do we like your company within 72 hours. Nice. And you will get then it takes about a week for us to get that company into an investment committee meeting if we do like the company. And then, within about 2 to 3 weeks, we'll jump into diligence. We have a very standard diligence process, about two months or so max. But again, these are usually our lead diligence that we do. Again, that's shared across all of our network, so it makes it very easy for the founders to raise their funds as they go through.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks for making time.
Thanks for having me.